Welcome to a deep dive that just might make you want to hit that snooze button with like a whole new sense of purpose.
Yeah.
We are diving deep into the world of dreams today, and we're using ChoYin's Waking from the Dream as our guide.
Oh, okay.
Get ready because this book suggests that our dreams, they might be just as real as our waking life,
Yeah.
offering us a treasure trove of insight into who we are and what we're capable of.
It really is a perspective shift to think about our dreams that way,
Oh, it
to
is.
not just think that they're meaningless or that they don't have any connection to our waking life.
Yeah.
ChoYin isn't saying, that if you dream about acing that math test that you're
Yeah.
going to magically wake up with calculus skills or something.
All right,
But
right.
but it is about recognizing that our dreams, they stem from a place of genuine experience. It's just on a different layer of our being.
Okay, so how does ChoYin explain those different layers?
Well, that's where the five sheaths come in.
Yeah.
So imagine them like layers of an onion, okay?
Okay.
With the physical body, what ChoYin calls the Anamaya Kosha, being the outermost layer.
Okay.
And this is the layer that we spend the majority of our waking lives, kind of existing in.
Yeah. We're pretty attached to the physical form, I would say, in general.
Yeah, yeah. Eating, sleeping, going to work, the drill.
Makes sense. What about those other layers, though? What are those all about?
So beyond the physical, we have the Pranamaya Kosha,
Okay.
and that's our energy body. And this sheath, this is what governs our life force, our vitality.
Okay.
Have you ever woken up from a dream and just felt like totally energized, even if the dream itself was kind of chaotic or didn't really make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your Pranamaya Kosha in action.
That dream I had where I was like suddenly sprinting faster than Usain Bolt.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that wasn't just random. Maybe that was my energy body, like flexing its muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What's next?
Okay, so next we have the Manamaya Kosha,
Okay.
and that's the mental body. This sheath is all about our thoughts, emotions, our senses.
Okay.
Dreams often feel super intense emotionally, right?
They do. Yeah.
That's the Manamaya Kosha taking center stage.
Okay.
And then we move to the Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is the wisdom body.
Okay.
It's the seat of our intuition and our higher knowledge.
So that gut feeling we get about things, could that be the Vijnanamaya Kosha trying to tell us something?
Exactly.
Interesting.
And then finally, we reach the Anandamaya Kosha, which is the bliss body.
Okay.
This is the deepest layer. This is the core of our being, where pure joy and peace reside.
Bliss body. Sounds like a nice place to visit.
It does.
So if we're experiencing all these layers in our dreams, then why is it that they often feel so jumbled, so confusing when we try to remember them?
It's because our waking mind, which is, so used to the logical world of the physical, it has a really hard time processing the language of those other sheaths. It's almost like trying to explain a symphony to someone who's only ever heard, a single note played.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. And ChoYin suggests that by actually paying attention to this symphony, these multi-layered dream experiences, we can gain some really, really valuable insights into ourselves, right?
Exactly. And, ChoYin even shares an anecdote in the book. There's a woman who dreamed of having a heart attack, and she felt the fear, the physical sensations, everything.
Wow.
And guess what? Shortly after waking up, she had a real heart attack.
That sends chills down my spine. So does that mean that our dreams are predicting the future? Like, should I be taking notes on every detail?
While that story is certainly powerful, ChoYin isn't saying that all dreams are premonitions. It's more about recognizing that the emotional and symbolic language of dreams can reveal things that our waking minds might be missing. Our dreams might be trying to tell us something important about our health, our relationships, our fears, our aspirations. They're like messages from our subconscious, urging us to pay attention.
So it's less about fortune telling and more about self-discovery. What about recurring dreams? I know I've had a few that felt like they were like on repeat. ChoYin addresses those, right?
Oh yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Recurring dreams, they're like that song that you can't get out of your head.
Right.
Except instead of catchy lyrics, it's your subconscious, right? It's trying to get your attention.
Okay.
ChoYin suggests that these repeating themes, they often point to unresolved issues, or maybe like unmet needs that we have.
Okay, so how do we switch the radio station in our mind? Like, is there a way to decode these recurring dreams, or are we stuck hitting the snooze button indefinitely?
Well, according to ChoYin, one of the most powerful tools is actually really simple.
Okay.
It's dream journaling.
Okay.
The idea is you keep a notebook by your bed, and you just jot down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Even if they seem, fragmented, even if they don't make
Right.
sense, you get it out.
I'll admit, I've tried dream journaling before, but I feel like I just end up with all these scribbled notes that I can't even decipher. So what's the trick to actually making sense of it all?
It's about looking for patterns over time. So let's say you keep having dreams about being chased, right?
Okay.
By journaling these dreams consistently, you might start to notice some common elements,
Right.
like who's chasing you? Where is this happening? How do you feel?
Okay.
And those details, those can offer clues about what your subconscious might be trying to tell you.
So it's less about like understanding each dream literally and more about recognizing these overarching themes, emotions that come up again and again.
Exactly. And if recurring dreams are like the radio, stuck on repeat, then lucid dreaming, that's like finally getting control of the dial.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about achieving lucidity, that awareness of dreaming while you're in a dream?
Yeah, the whole like waking up within the dream thing. It still sounds a little bit like something out of the Matrix to me, but ChoYin seems to suggest that this is something that anyone can learn to do. So how do you even begin to practice that?
So one technique ChoYin recommends is reality testing.
Okay.
And this involves getting in the habit of questioning your surroundings throughout the day. So like look around you right now.
Okay.
Are the colors, are they exceptionally vivid? Are objects behaving strangely? Are there any details that just seem a little bit off?
So it's about like training your mind to spot these inconsistencies, which then kind of carries over into the dream world. But isn't that going to make me doubt like reality all the time? I
Right.
don't want to be like walking around questioning my own
It's
existence.
not about becoming paranoid. It's about cultivating a healthy sense of skepticism, of awareness.
Okay.
The more you practice this in your waking life, the more likely you are to automatically do it when you're dreaming,
Right.
which can then trigger lucidity.
Okay, so let's say I become lucid. I'm in a dream. I know it's a dream. What then? Can I like control everything? Can I fly to the moon? Can I win an Oscar?
Well, Choying kind of explains it like learning a new skill, right?
Right.
At first, it might be difficult to even hold on to that awareness for very long. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of it all and lose your lucidity. That's why he suggests starting with small, achievable goals.
Mhm.
Like maybe you try to change the color of an object, or you try to make a small object float.
Okay.
As you get the hang of it, then you can gradually expand your influence within that dreamscape.
So it's about like gradually increasing your control, almost like leveling up in a video game or something.
Exactly.
But beyond the wow factor, what's the real value in lucid dreaming? What can people actually do with it? So we've talked about like deciphering our dreams through journaling, maybe even taking the wheel a little bit with lucid dreaming. But ChoYin also explores this idea of dream yoga, which sounds a bit more spiritually ambitious, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What exactly is dream yoga, and how is it different from lucid dreaming?
It's a great question because while lucidity is actually a key part of dream yoga, the approach is different. So imagine lucid dreaming is like, becoming fluent in a new language.
Okay.
But dream yoga is like using that language to compose a poem.
Okay.
So you're aiming for this much deeper understanding, maybe even transformation.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But before we get to like the poetry slam in our sleep, let's
Right.
back up a bit. What's the core philosophy behind dream yoga?
Okay. So dream yoga stems from Tibetan Buddhism. And in Tibetan Buddhism, both waking and dream realities are considered to be illusory.
Okay.
So the goal isn't to like control the dream, but to actually recognize the dreamlike nature of all experience.
Okay.
So it's about using the dream state as a training ground, essentially, to really understand the nature of your own mind.
So it's less about like, look, I can fly, and more about recognizing that the I that thinks it can fly is also part of the illusion. Exactly. Yeah. And by recognizing the illusory nature of the dream self, you start to see through the illusion of the waking self.
Okay.
ChoYin describes all these different dream yoga techniques that are each designed to cultivate this awareness, this insight.
Like what? Give me an example. What could someone actually do within a dream using this approach?
Okay. One technique is called dream transformation.
Okay.
So let's say you're having this recurring dream and you're being chased by this shadowy figure.
Okay.
It's terrifying. In a lucid dream, you might try to like outrun the figure or
Yeah.
fight it, right?
Yeah.
But in dream yoga, you would take a different approach.
Okay. Let me guess. You like befriend the shadowy figure. offer it a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's a great image. You could, or, maybe you ask the figure, what do you represent, or why are you chasing me? Or you could even visualize it transforming into something positive, something harmless. This isn't about denying the fear, but it's about working with it, understanding it, and ultimately transforming it.
That's really interesting. It's like you're taking the power back from the dream. You're using it for like personal growth. Are there other techniques that ChoYin talks about?
Yeah, absolutely. Another powerful practice is called illusory body yoga.
Okay.
And this involves exploring the sensations and limitations of your dream body.
So like noticing how it feels to walk or to breathe or even to fly, like we were talking about, in a dream.
Exactly. By really paying attention to the dream body, you realize that like everything in the dream, it's impermanent. It's ultimately an illusion.
Hmm.
And this insight, this can then be applied to your waking body.
Okay.
It can help you to release those attachments we have to physical form and cultivate a deeper understanding of our true nature.
Wow. So it's not about like achieving some blissful state of like never-ending dreams. It's about like carrying the awareness, the insights that we gain from these practices, carrying those into our waking life.
Exactly. It's about waking up to the dreamlike nature of reality itself. But it is important to note that ChoYin emphasizes that this is a serious spiritual practice.
Sure.
It's not just a fun way to spice up your REM cycle.
Right.
And it often requires guidance from a qualified teacher and just the willingness to really do the inner work.
It's not something to like jump into lightly.
Well, this deep dive has been like a whirlwind of really eye-opening concepts, from the idea that dreams are like just as real as our waking life, to the possibility of actually using them for self-discovery, for healing, maybe even spiritual awakening. I have to admit, like, I started this conversation thinking the dreams were just random brain firings, but I'm not so sure anymore. It seems like there's this whole universe of like unexplored potential within us that's just waiting to be discovered.
And remember those 5 sheaths that we talked about?
I mean, this exploration, it's shown that we are not just physical beings, right?
Yeah.
We're multi-layered, we're complex, and we're capable of experiencing reality on a multitude of levels, whether we're awake or asleep.
It's like we've been given this incredible gift, this access to this hidden world within ourselves. And by paying attention to our dreams, by exploring them with curiosity, with an open mind, we can unlock a deeper understanding of who we truly are.
And who knows? Maybe even catch a glimpse of what lies beyond the illusion.
Now there's a thought to sleep on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of dreams. Until next time, sweet dreams, everyone.